The Buckleys were first introduced to us in Season 1 of The Waterfront, and the conclusion skillfully laid up a compelling backstory for each member of the family. When the 8-episode Netflix series resumed, the Buckleys' fishery was in hot water due to a botched drug transfer. It is shown that Kane and his mother, Belle, began using their fishing boats as a means of smuggling heroin, a practice Harlan Buckley formerly engaged in with his father. But Kane soon knew that Harlan would need to re-enter the situation since he was in over his head. After Season 1 of The Waterfront concludes, will Belle take over the Buckley empire? Wes was all that stood between the Buckleys after Kane and Harlan had taken care of Grady. He stood to effectively inherit the Buckleys' entire empire because the family was unable to pay off the debt he had bought from the bank. Belle appealed to the Parkers for assistance in her time of need. In exchange for Belle taking over the Buckley company, this influential family promised to come in and handle Wes and the land deal. Belle is presented as the new boss to a bruised and beaten Wes in the Season 1 finale of The Waterfront. The relationship between Emmett Parker and the Buckley family described The Waterfront makes it abundantly evident that the Parkers are not to be taken lightly. Harlan and his father worked with the Parkers' drug cartel to acquire enormous money years ago while they were managing the Buckley company together. They haven't forgotten that the Parkers have played a significant role in the Buckleys' continued dominance in Havenport. But the relationship between the two families soured. How Kane and Harlan were able to kill Grady despite their risk, the Parkers are at least consistently astute business people. Grady, however, was an absolute loose cannon. The Buckleys swallowed their pride and asked the Parkers to look after the man because they could not possibly continue working with him. The assassination attempt, regrettably, was unsuccessful. Grady responded by taking Bree hostage and dragging her out into the ocean. Afterwards, Harlan reminded his son that Grady had to be shot. This had been Kane's first kill, and it had not been an easy one. But Kane realized that was probably the only way to save Bree. The law was still a concern, of course, but Harlan managed this quite easily. Kane and Jenna, are they done? An explanation of his future with Peyton early on in The Waterfront. It was rather obvious that Kane and Jenna still had a lot of connection. Peyton noticed it too, which is why she left for her mother's early in Season 1. Peyton made an effort to confront Jenna about having an affair with her husband once her suspicions were validated. But since Jenna's father had recently died, she couldn't bring herself to be unkind to the woman. In the Season 1 conclusion of The Waterfront, Jenna decided to break up with Kane because of Peyton's generosity.